What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Showdown breakdown. We're taking a look at Thursday night football. This one is between the Bills at the Patriots. 43.5 point total, 3.5 point spread. Let's do this. All right, Kevin Allen here, aka the Geek from DFS Army, and I've got the GOAT himself, Bobby Moneybags, aka Bobby Millions, who, man, I saw you hanging out in first place for a while in the FanDuel Sunday Million. I was having deja vu last week. Like, is it happening again?
Then yeah, no. The cool kids invited me to the front of the line for a few minutes and then relegated me real quick.
Just for a little bit. But I do want to say congratulations to Bengal Tiger, aka Sliders, for taking second place in the DraftKings Millie Maker. My goodness, Bobbywow, the difference between $1 million and second place, $100,000, $900,000 difference for 0.08 of a fantasy point. If your quarterback would have farted at the right time, got propelled like a quarter of a couple of yards forward, it's $1 million.
It's one way to look at it for sure.
A sneeze, anything, a blink. Take a knee, it costs you $900,000. Unbelievable, but what an incredible win for Bengal Tigers, AK Slider, taking second in the DraftKings Million Maker, and more proof that the DFS Army Domination Station Optimizer, which he used, and which I replicated on the Monday Week in Review right here on this channel, so please go check that out. You can see exactly how it's done. If you want to learn, and actually, isn't that what we're about, Bobbywow?
That's all, yeah, exactly. I mean, we talked about this last week a little bit. We're all about teaching and learning. I love that so much about this place.
If you're out there and you're a DFS player and you're kind of floundering, you see all these names of people, you've joined other sites too, and you see names of people and they're there and they're winning and you never win. You're wondering why. It's because you don't have a system and they're not telling you their systems. They're not sharing it with you. They don't do that. They're just, I don't know what they do. But DFS Army is different. It's a reason why our subscribers, our members win more frequently. We have systems, we back test. Our users are back testing constantly, coming up with their own systems, better systems. And that's why we're taking down tournaments and not just the staff. It's the members. Total difference. So make sure you check out DFS Army if you want to come sign up if you're not already signed up. Promo code Geek we got 10% off all the time. Promo code. What's your code, Bobby? Wow, Bobby Millions.
Just use Geek. Just use Geek. And one more thing on that too. Like, the staff genuinely cares. We actually truly care about what happens. And I play every pick on my sheet exactly as it's listed. And I legitimately lose sleep when a pick that I tout sucks. So like it's very real. We cheer for each other. Maybe.
I don't. You care. You take it too far. Okay. People, Bobby in the back, like he really does care, and it's important. Like when somebody. Don't flame Bobbywow. Like, I love that you go out on a limb. I love that you've given us really crazy out of the limb plays on these showdowns that seem to hit more often than not. Dude, if you hit on 3 or 4 of those in a season, you're gold. The fact that you're hitting on them at like a 50, 60, I mean, come on. On Monday, if you watch the showdown breakdown on Monday, I literally said, Benny Snell, play him in some lineups without Najee Harris, like play that hedge because Najee Harris gets hurt. That shit happened, bro. What are the chances? Happens all the time. It's about 20%. It's actually a fairly high chance. That stuff happens all the time. That's why we tell you about it. Anyway, that was nuts. But those kind of calls, incredible. All right, so we got another exciting one though. Bills at New England, and right off the bat, I'm a little surprised at the spread here. I thought the Bills should be favored by more than 3.5, and it's actually gone down. Like all the sharp money is on the Patriots. Fuck that. This square is taking the Bills, man. The Patriots suck. I don't get it. Is it windy? They can win if there's like a rainstorm. Is there a rainstorm tomorrow, Bobbywow?
I don't know, man. Patriots in New England. Bill Belichick's a genius. Those narratives are never going away. So I'm with you, though. I love the Bills. It's hard not to love the Bills.
Yeah, I don't get that shit. Anyway, let's get right into this slate here, and we're gonna just kind of talk through each team a little bit, get a sense of who's doing what here, and I'll bring up. I'm gonna bring up the draft screen to do this. And
Geek, while you're bringing that up, I have to say this. I know we don't want to start this way, but There's rumors that Tom Brady's going back to New England next season. Did you hear that?
No, it's always a rumor with Brady. Ignore.
Real. It might
Seriously,
be real.
it's not
anyway,
real.
Back to
There's a
DraftKings.
San Francisco rumor. There's a rumor of Brady to the Raiders. The Brady to, you know what? You know where Brady's going? Out to pasture. It's enough. It's enough. He's already got a new Instagram, like 22-year-old model girlfriend, or I'm seeing stuff online. This guy has good things waiting for him for the rest of his time.
Fair enough.
He will be the king of America for as long as he's wandering around and wants to be. So I don't know. Maybe there's no way he go back.
It'd be fun. A reunion, a Belly Brady reunion would be fun.
It's not happening. I'll say it. Who knows? I didn't see the rumor of that one. I saw a San Francisco rumor. Anyway, but nonetheless, let's get into this one here. And all right, so last week, the big, this is the Thursday game. And of course, Isaiah McKenzie out of nowhere hadn't been getting any targets, had been an afterthought. All of a sudden comes through with 10 targets at the expense, I'm going to say, of Gabriel Davis, who had a terrible game last week.
Yep.
So Isaiah McKenzie pops off last week. Devin Singletary, kind of a mediocre game, 14 carries, pretty much what you'd expect from Singletary. D Sizzles is now pretty much in a decent to large split with James Cook, which kind of ruins both of them from being of any interest. Yeah, I got a couple carries, 5 targets for Cook. So Cook is kind of being worked in there and kind of sucking away the joy of Devin Singletary a little bit.
Which not a huge amount of joy to begin with.
Yeah. The little bit of joy has been taken away from Devin Singletary, so I'm not into that. I'm definitely not into it, for this price. So continuing down the Buffalo grouping, obviously Stephon Diggs is great. 15 targets last week. Like what? Didn't do a ton with it, but Stephon Diggs is right up there with Taysom Hill as sort of the top wide receiver on the season. He'll do fine in this spot. Gabriel Davis last week kind of was the disappointment of the group, but who cares? That was 1 week. This week he could be the best of the 3. It's all irrelevant. Good spots. Dawson Knox getting all the snaps he can handle at the tight end position. Rarely does a whole lot with them. Dawson Knox is one of the more sort of overrated, I would say, tight ends this season. You got to play a little bit of Dawson Knox just in case he has that pop day, but you're not excited to play him in your fantasy league in your season long.
Exactly. Feels like he should be priced a little lower at this point, right? We've been doing this Dawson Knox thing all season. He's been right around 6,500.
McKenzie's also ridiculously priced up based on the fact that he had one voluminous game all season. Look at the rest of Isaiah McKenzie's season. Okay, I'm not talking about 1 target, 4 targets, 3, 1. There's a 9 target game in there. That was the other big one. But 6, 5, 3, 3. He's usually stinking it up.
Yeah, he's usually the WR3.
Even 4 on occasion. Like he's usually stinking it up out there. Man, it feels chasey to the point of donkey to play Isaiah McKenzie at all.
It's messing with my head, Geek, because initially I'm like, this feels chasey to the point of donkey. And then I'm like, wait, but that is what everyone's thinking. So he's going to be like 8% owned at this price. What if it happened again?
There you go. So maybe there it is. There aren't too many turds on the Bills. The only guy that really stands out for me, and you tell me if there's anyone else, is Khalil Shakir down here at 200. Obviously, there are some backup running back. No, not on this team. Khalil Shakir. Is there anybody else?
I think Shakir. I have some legitimate tournament punt interest in Shakir. He was on the field a decent amount of the snaps last week, and min price. The only other guy, and you already mentioned him a little bit, is James Cook. He's the one other guy that I'm willing to take some shots on. But Shakir more than him for sure.
And James Cook is kicker priced, so he's kicker priced. So the floor is set kind of high with him in my mind. What What about Nyheim Hines? Does he ever get a touch? No, he does not. So yeah,
there were murmurs from the beat reporters last week, beat writers, that he was going to get an increased snap share, and that did not happen. So I think he's clearly an afterthought right now.
Absolutely. All right, let's jump over to the Patriots side of the ball here. And right off the bat, the most expensive player on the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson. Love the Dre. We'll get into the matchup in a minute, but no Damian Snacks Harris for this game, maybe for the rest of the season. I'm not sure what's up with him, but that means we're going to get a full workload for Ramondre on a team that needs, not once, needs to move the football via the run in a game like this and just in general. Ramondre, outside of Josh Allen, is for me the top play on the Patriots. Well, forget Josh, is the top play on the Patriots by far, and it's not
completely
even
agree.
Beyond that, Jacoby Myers came out of the game last week. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this Q tag. Limited Monday through Wednesday.
He'll play.
He expects to play. I mean, there's a little bit of risk here with Jacoby Myers just coming off. He got knocked out of the game last week. Like, I don't forgive that.
Did he hurt your lineups? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I had a lot of him, and I don't have forgiveness on that. Fuck that. Right, I played a ton of him. He was in my main lineup, which really upset me.
Oh,
yeah, not fun. Beyond that, of course, Aguilar coming off the big week. Here's Devontae Parker. So, all of these guys get a few snaps. None of them are getting 90%. Parker plays a little bit. Aguilar plays maybe a little more. Then you've got, what the heck is his name?
Bourne and Tyquan Thornton.
Bourne and Tyquan Thornton. That's right. So there's a lot of sort of secondary wide receivers on this Patriots team, all of which deserve a little bit of consideration. Do you have three that you kind of elevate? So assuming Jacoby Myers, last week Myers comes out, so other guys are coming in, and I think Bourne came in for Myers.
Yeah, it feels like there's almost three tiers of wide receiver, right? And this is just speaking about the Patriots. Jacoby Myers, tier 1, and then you've got Devontae Parker and Nelson Aguilar, and then you've got third tier is Tyquan Thornton and Kendrick Bourne. Devontae Parker, to me, has the most upside. I know Aguilar popped off last week. He looked good. But when he's healthy, Devontae Parker is a legitimate weapon and a legitimate touchdown threat. So I don't love any wide receiver. Let me be clear about that. I don't love any Patriots wide receiver, but Devontae Parker is the one not named Jacoby Myers I get the most excited about.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tight end Hunter Henry absolutely crushed last week. And, it was on, he almost got a second touchdown in that game, but this is about as good as he's ever going to do. I think it's noteworthy that it was only 5 targets, just 3 receptions. One of the receptions was a touchdown. A second one was almost a touchdown. So he has that upside at 4,600. I think that's an acceptable price for, a player that's generally pretty turtly, but he might be able to get you there. Nick Folk kicking. Why is Vizcaino in here? What's this about?
I don't know.
I'm assuming, Nick Folk is the kicker. That's fine. He's actually a very, I like the kicker for the Patriots. Both
these guys.
Yeah. Patriots defense. So just looking at the turd zone down here for the cheapies. I mean, do we even have to mention Harris and Pierre Strong as backups? Like JJ Taylor, do we know who it's going to be?
I think we absolutely have to mention them. Do we know who it's going to be? No, not yet. But we do know a couple things. One, the Patriots are not afraid to work other running backs into the rotation. Ramondre Stevenson's not going to get 98% of the snaps. I think that's the reality of the situation. And because all 3 potential backups are min price on DraftKings, we have to monitor it closely. So no, there's no indication right now. JJ Taylor should be the guy, but no strong indication. And this is a situation that we'll have to follow pretty much up to lock in Discord. So
yeah. All right. So we have to pay close attention to the backup running back for the pay. I don't think, by the way, this is a great spot, but at 200, specifically on DraftKings,
yes,
at min, you don't need it to be a good spot. I just need a couple of targets. Similarly, we talked about Khalil Shakir. That guy could easily smash value with 2 or 3 targets and
with one catch.
Yeah, he's on the field. So we got to keep Khalil Shakir and backup Patriot running backs, all min salary. We got to figure out who the appropriate backup is. But that could be of interest. Now let's take a look at our matchup sheet that we have over. Yeah, exactly. Like Snell. You got to know who it is. We called it on Snell, but in this case, it's different because you can play a $200 guy with the starter in the same lineup, where Snell was priced in a spot where it really needed to be one or the other, not necessarily both. Let's take a look at the matchup here. So this is our points against sheet. This is refreshed for week 13. And this left-hand column will tell you how many points against, above, or below average a defense allows. So for Buffalo, they are a very good defensive team. Not great anymore. If you look at the numbers, they're just good. They've actually been a little more vulnerable the last few weeks. They've been getting some big numbers put up on them, and that's brought their overall metrics down a smidge. So if you take a look here, you'll see that Buffalo allows 2.3 points below mean expectation to opposing QBs. And actually, I'm going to show you the inverse, because the QB for New England does not, it's also is averages below average production. So that a too bad taste that tastes worse together. Yeah, there you go. So New England quarterback averages 5.9 fewer points per game than, quote unquote, an average quarterback would against the same team. New England offense is just really, really rough across the board. Buffalo, pretty neutral against running backs, pretty neutral against wide receivers. So at this point, that's where they're at on the season. Neutral against running backs, allowing just under 1 fantasy point below expectation, almost half, 3/4, 69. The perfect amount above expectation.
I knew
for wide receivers. The perfect amount. So let's take a look at the Patriots defense here. Where is New England? How'd you know I was going there? All right, so New England, here it is. See, Buffalo, New England allows 7 fewer points per game below mean expectation to opposing running backs, meaning that even if we liked Devin Singletary as a play, this is a really, really bad spot for him. Much like the reason we did not play Dalvin Cook last week, this number said do not play him, fade him, and that worked like a charm last week on the 3-gamer. When you running backs against New England are no bueno. Now, wide receivers are also not great against New England because they're a very good defense, but Buffalo wide receivers score 12 points above mean expectations per game. So the goodness of Buffalo outweighs the talent of New England. Does that make sense?
100%.
I'm explaining this more because a few people have DM'd me that to explain the sheet a little bit better. So just I'm taking an extra minute here, Bobbywow, to really explain it. Again, New England allows 3.39 points below average expectation, points against, to the wide receiver position, but Buffalo scores 12.75 points above mean expectation via the wide receiver position. So their goodness outweighs the defensive talent against the position, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm glad you explained that. My brain can comprehend it a little bit now.
Yeah, it's clicking.
Starting to click.
It's clicking in there. All right, great. Let's take a look at the Bobbywow cheat sheet. This is gold. By the way, when you're signing up for DFS Army, you get cheat sheets for everything. NBA, core plays, the whole deal. Get signed up as VIP if you are not. And remember, if you're watching this and you enjoy these kind of breakdowns, we do these all the time. If you don't have the notification bell rung, I hear a lot of people they miss, for example, the week in review. It's the most important thing that we do. It's one of the most important things we do every week. It teaches you how to use the Domination Station Optimizer. It teaches you techniques for how to mass multi-enter. All of this I backtest, and not enough people are watching that. You're missing it. You got to hit the notification bell. It's really important. You don't want to miss it. Why? Somebody tell. Why can't I win big? I got this the other day. I'm leaving because I haven't won big. Well, did you watch the review? Did you watch? No. Do you watch where we teach how to use the tools? No, I don't do that. So what the hell are you? What are you doing? What have you done here? And what were you expecting to win big in a week? Take a minute. Take a breath. Learn how to use the tools. Anyway, they were here for a week, Bobbywow.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't won big yet.
Gosh, man.
All right.
Hate to see it. You hate to see that stuff.
I said you're never going to win big.
Oh,
that's never going to happen. I promise you that. That's never going to happen.
Don't you put that evil on him.
All right. Josh Allen, the best play on the slate?
Yes. He looked like himself last week again. He had a down performance. People were worried about the elbow. I think he killed all those worries. He looks great. He looks healthy. Running the football, throwing the football. He's the top dog.
Josh Allen is one of those rare quarterbacks that does so much. You could play him as a captain comfortably on DraftKings. You know, I don't like to play quarterbacks on DraftKings as a captain unless it's Josh Allen or somebody like that. So there you go. Great spot. Very expensive. In order to play him, we're going to try to make a lineup with him in a little bit, and we'll see kind of like how much squeeze we need to do, or to pick one of these $200 guys, and it makes it all work. So Josh Allen, of course. Stephon Diggs, I would say second best. You kind of have him third best. So make an argument for me, Ramondre over Steph Diggs, because it's really close for me, but I'd probably elevate Diggs other than the salary difference, even above Ramondre, unless you're thinking Bill Belichick takes out the opposing guy, team best player kind of thing.
I don't buy into that very much. I think we've seen the best players smash against Belichick this season already several times. But look, Diggs is a phenomenal play. I think his ceiling is higher than Ramondre's, but it's impossible for me to argue with the usage that Ramondre is going to have. I mean, the dude had 10 targets last week, and he's going to be even more involved this week. So I love that you can save a little bit of money. And I just love the amount of usage that he's going to get, both on the ground and in the air as a pass catcher. It just provides that solidity for me. So that's why Ramondre over Diggs.
So many good potential plays on this slate. We got to be creative with how we create lineups for this one. I agree with you. I love Ramondre. Listen, at Diggs, Ramondre, whatever. Like, they're both studs this season. Ramondre, I've been riding the Ramondre bandwagon.
You have
to fantasy championships also. Like from week one, when Harris I gave the rare play him in every lineup call. Bobby, I don't like to give those calls out because when they go wrong, it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's not fun. I've been rolling him in every lineup like every week. He's spectacular. I love a running team. So Ramondre, great.
10 targets, Geek. 10 targets.
Yeah, it's crazy. They throw to him it's everything you want. And the team can't throw for a touchdown. It's a really good scene. All right, so the secondary guys, and I'm gonna eliminate some of these for you.
Yep.
I'm
right on schedule.
I'm gonna fucking eliminate some of them. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Fuck Jacoby Myers. He is not scoring enough on this slate. I know he's the WR1 for a team. Fuck that dude. Right? Yeah, 2 stars. You did it right. Devin Singletary? Hell. Hold on. Hold up. This one, I don't trust my own judgment, Bobbywow. I'm going to a neutral arbiter, the greatest fantasy football mind in history. The Bishop himself will let us know what to do with Singletary on the slate.
Hell no. No.
Yeah, it makes sense on paper why you would think that.
Neutral arbiter. That's not me. If it were me, I don't know. But when the Bishop speaks, you got to listen. Hell no. Hell no to Devin Singletary. Isaiah McKenzie, the donkey chase. Could we just use Davis, Allen, and Ramondre and Diggs? And that's those 4. That's the 4.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, that's the 4.
But again, these are all guys that could win you a tournament. That's why they're up on the board. But yes, those 4 are far and away the best options.
They absolutely could.
And they're labeled as such.
There's no doubt. And you did it right. I mean, you put a dart throw and turd and 2-star play. Bobby, by the way, you guys don't know this, but Bobbywow is so kind. He doesn't even like to put a 1-star because he doesn't want to make the player feel bad. He gives him a 2nd star. 2. Unless it's a turd, and then you throw a turd on him with no shame. with no shame. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can get there. For me, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to skip this group, and I'm keeping it real. I'm probably going to skip this group. It's too many. And I'm just going to go with this quad, this foursome.
I almost need a line. We need a line that says like MME.
Well, everybody's MME. It's all MME, but like MME, like like darts. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly that. Or maybe it is MME where people look at this and go like, all right, well, I'm making a single entry. Who should I use? Or I'm attacking a 300 person contest. Who should I use? And if you're doing that, do not stray from this foursome. Even Gabriel Davis, though, I will allow it for that style of contest because we've seen Gabriel Davis put up a 30 plus. And it should happen after a week like last week where he shit the bed. That's the perfect time for him to all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, have a monster game.
And here's the thing, too. No, the ceiling is there. Yes, he scored 30 points this season and last season. So we know the ceiling's there. But the price difference between from where he is all the way up to the top three guys is massive. Like him at captain over Diggs.
You save a little.
That saves you what? Yeah. 5,500, somewhere in that range. That's a lot. That's a lot.
The lineup looks a little bit different. So you could do some different things. There's no question. It's funny because these three are all basically the same. And so you're not saving a lot. You're pretty much just banking on who scores the most points. Whereas Davis, you could probably get there with like him not outscoring everybody. He'll still need a monster score, but maybe not everybody. So yeah. And again, Devin Singletary doesn't have the upside for me. Horrible matchup. Don't like it. Isaiah McKenzie's just too chasey after last week. And I just don't like that. And then Dawson Knox, he just is not that guy for me either. So yeah, I think we could stick with the foursome unless you're getting crazy silly for the millie. I'm not a specialist on getting supremely silly for the millie, Bobbywow. That's maybe a little bit more your area anyway. I'm like a little, I just, those very low probability outcomes. It's funny. I don't mind playing a guy for the running back to get hurt and come in. Like, to me, that's a 20% outcome. That happens all the time. But when it comes to like Dawson Knox having a nuts day, I can't accept it. My mind will not accept that it's possible.
The voice of reason.
Yeah. Probably not the best. Who knows? But listen, we all got to do what we got to do. All right. So taking a look at the flex zone here, as we get past that crew of sort of startable guys, man, if this is, where are you going with this? Let's look at some of these stars. So you got a 3-star on Nelson Aguilar. He had the big game last week. That's fine.
It's tough. It's gross, Geek. It gets the kickers, I think, are far and away the safest plays below Gabe Davis, almost to the safest place.
It's pretty weird, but yeah, I don't think I like Singletary too much. I don't like McKenzie. I don't like Doss. I think that is the way to go. Or we're going to have to pick out the Patriots wide receiver that happens to do okay. And it could be, you mentioned Devontae. It could be Devontae. Obviously, the law firm Jacoby Myers is solid, but the Q tag, the $7,200 price point isn't exactly a bargain. We'll have to see how that goes. I definitely love both kickers here, T-Bass and Nick Folk. Who picked up my boy Rodrigo?
I don't remember. Was it the Vikings?
The Vikings? Oh, okay. It wasn't one of these two. I was like, wait,
I don't think so.
What the hell was DFS Up North talking about? But I don't know. All right. Forget it. Are you going there with Jonas Smith? Do we need to bother with this guy anymore? I guess you got to kind of leave him in your GPP mix.
Yes, I think you do need to leave him in your GPP mix. People are going to, he's forgettable, right? But people are going to forget about him with Hunter Henry. And I think the reality is Jonnu Smith is just as likely as Henry to put up a decent score, which is what, 10%? The odds are low.
It's low. But at least Jonas Smith is cheap and he's sub kicker priced. I don't like the price of Hunter Henry at all. He's going to need to smash to pay off at that salary level. So JJ Taylor looks like the best of the turd zone down here. We got to wait till tomorrow, though. This is Wednesday. If you're watching this live, you're with us live, but this is Wednesday. And JJ Taylor hasn't even been elevated from the practice squad yet. So I'm not sure that he'll be active. If he's not active, I'm going to make some calls. I'll make some calls. I'll get on the phones tomorrow, try to figure out. I think Pierre Strong has been playing where Kevin Harris has not at all. So my second guess would be Pierre Strong, just because he's been active and he's got a special teams role. And so it seems more likely that they'll keep him active. He'll be out there for the game. And the other name down here in the turd zone that's really important, I'll move us out of the way, is Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir, I think, is almost an accidental price down, Bobbywow.
I don't know. Like he's not very productive, but if he's going to be seeing the field for a legitimate amount of snaps, we saw him earlier this season. He can break the slate on one catch. I think he might have done it.
Have I just been living on this week 5 when McKenzie was out and he had that good game?
I think you have been. But again, like he sees the field a decent amount and he's a big play guy. So don't go crazy on him. I mean, I would say you could double the field and be at 10%. But yeah, he's certainly in the mix, especially for MME.
Couple shares of him. All right, let's try to slap a lineup together here, and then we'll jump over to FanDuel and take a look at some potential MVP candidates. I got a feeling Josh Allen is going to be prominent in that one as well. But if we start a lineup here with Josh Allen, the aforementioned, at captain, let's just see when you do that how much is left. So you're already down to 6,300 per spot. I feel like Ramondre is almost like a must.
I'm starting every one of my lineups with Josh Allen and Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a must, right? Unless like the Patriots completely take a shit in this game and are non-competitive, but that is not what the odds makers are predicting at all. By the way, somebody's asking if the Patriots going to win. Listen, Andre, I say the Bills win and they cover, but what the hell do I know? The odds makers have it -3.5. They have it close. All right, Nick Folk, New England can't get it in the end zone. T-Bass. Man, even with both of these guys, we still only have 6K left. Like,
need a pass catcher. Get Gabe Davis in there.
It's either Gabe or Diggs.
Or Knox.
And I don't want Knox. So let's make it a Gabriel Davis version, which leaves you with 5K. And then let's see what happens if I use Diggs. Let's go with the best. You're the best around. You watch Cobra Kai?
No.
No?
What is it?
Cobra Kai?
Oh, no, I don't. Everyone loves that show.
It's so good. You have boys.
Yes.
What are you doing?
We're playing Mario Kart, man.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, is there a way I can get in on this Mario Kart action? I love Mario Kart. Are you kidding me?
If you have a Nintendo Switch, we could play online.
I have money. I'm very rich.
Right,
I'm able to purchase the device. I don't have a Nintendo Switch, but I have money.
But you're a Mario Kart guy.
I love Mario Kart.
That's good to know. That says a lot about somebody.
I love Mario Kart, man. All right. Anyway, where was I? You like my answer though? Do I have a Switch? No, but I got a fucking shit of money. I can buy whatever the fuck I want. All right. Sorry, I said that. I take it back. If you play Stephon Diggs in this lineup, you got to play Jonas Smith in it, and that feels pretty gross. Who do I not feel disgusted about?
That's the thing about that price range is it's disgusting all the way through.
You got to use, you can go, see, now here's another problem. McKenzie, all right, let's try the Davis route. Hold on. Because McKenzie, you get McKenzie and Knox, but then it's too many players. It's too many pass catchers. Is it? Actually, no, I do want 2 pass catchers. You know what? All right. So you could go McKenzie Knox here, which I don't love, or Davis and like an Aguilar, which I do kind of like, or Henry. I think I like it like this. Davis, Aguilar. What do you say?
Yeah, I like it.
And by the way, can make the exact same lineup with Knox and McKenzie. Listen, I think Knox is overpriced for what he normally does. Doesn't mean in a 1-game sample size he can't handle his business. So let's jump over to FanDuel. But again, before actually we jump over to FanDuel, guys who are watching, let me know who your favorite captain is on DraftKings this week. Who are you? Are you a one captain player? Are you going to still play one guy? Are you going to go out on a limb outside of my top 4 guys that we talked about? Are you going to stray from the Allen, Diggs, Stevenson, Davis quadrangle and take somebody else? Are you going with one of those 4? And if you're going with one of those 4, let us know who that is. So hit us up with that and give me your turd of the slate. We talked about Khalil Shakir, the backup running backs, JJ Taylor. Put it in the comments. And if you nail it, we'll hook you up with a free month of DFS Army if you're not subscribed. And if you are subscribed to DFS Army, we'll set you up with a free month of Sharp app for nailing the turd of the week. So let us know who your favorite turd of the week is. And of course, who your favorite captain is in the comment section below. I read every comment, Bobbywow.
I know you do.
I read them all. There's Jenna. All right. I feel like neither one of those are going to be the captain of the week, but it's a good...
That's good. No, that's good.
Yeah. Aguilar could do it. What if Aguilar just has one of his games, puts up 22, and at his price, he's the nuts captain, even not the highest score.
Jenna's playing to win. It's like March Madness. It's like picking Duke to win it all. You don't want to pick Duke. Come on.
Didn't I pick Duke?
I don't know, maybe.
Last year? I've got USA to win the whole soccer tournament.
Oh, jeebus. Pays like 50,000 to 1.
I went with America because it was the only team I was familiar with. All right. The soccer. I actually watched the game yesterday.
They're all countries.
I only know America. I watched the game yesterday, Bobbywow. It was the only one I've watched so far.
It was, I mean, we can have this conversation another time. I can't stand soccer. There's like 3 things about soccer that make it unwatchable for me. They change those things. Easy.
It's not my sport. Allen captain with Gabe. Gabe is not a turd. Gabe is good. I won't give you Gabe as a turd. Gabe is the man. All right, let's take a look at FanDuel. Who's going out with an injury? Ooh.
Oh, gosh, no.
Injury prediction? Ramondre.
Oh, my gosh. Is that guy even, like, he feels impenetrable to me. He's like
so young and fresh-legged.
He's massive. He's a beast.
Yeah. He's like Kenny Walker. There's a whole crew of these guys that you just like.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, insurmountable. All right. Taking a look at FanDuel and what is going on here with all these captains. There's only one MVP.
Yes, of course there's only one MVP. You could play Josh Allen in every one of your lineups.
There's more than one. That same foursome, I would say, but Ramondre as well. Allen, Ramondre, where I greatly prefer Allen to Ramondre. How do you feel?
I don't know about great. I'd probably be 60-40.
I'm not that way. I would be higher than 70-30 for me.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing, guys. A QB injury game. By the way, the injury could be Mac Jones. And then Bailey Zapp comes in. I agree. I think these running backs, they're fine. How about Mac Jones gets hurt? Bailey Zapp comes in. He doesn't do shit, though, and it didn't matter. It's not like he wins you the tournament. Here's the thing about Josh Allen. I'm going to tell you something I've learned over the years on FanDuel. I learned this the other day because I took first place in the, who the hell was Mahomes? It was like where you locked in one guy where it was so obvious. Oh, Jalen Hurts. So yeah. Jalen Hurts on a let me get in here for a second. Here's what I've learned on FanDuel. And this is over years. If Josh Allen's the nuts, you ain't making shit on FanDuel this week because you're tying with everybody. And so when the potential captain is so obvious that 50% of the lineups are going to use him, there's almost no scenario that isn't going to be covered by multiple other lineups. But more so, you take first, but you still lose money if you enter 150 in the tournament. So what I'm going to say is this. If you don't want to go, and I probably don't want to go too far away from Allen or Ramondre, I'll be honest with you. You know, a little Diggs, a little Davis, but I cannot see it from anybody else. If you're not willing to do that, it's better not to put 150 lineups in on FanDuel. Unless you enjoy just being in first. There are people who like that. And I do too. I like winning. I don't even care when I don't make money. I like to take first place, so I'm fine with it. But I also know that I'm going to lose money on those, so I might just do it on like a really cheap, like shits and gigs type of tournament. And then maybe when I go to the more expensive ones, maybe I'll just do some shits and gigs. I'm not really sure what to do there, Bobbywow.
It's tough, man. We talk about this, I feel like, every showdown, and it's important to determine, is this a get a little cuter at MVP slate, or is this a get crazy cute in the flex slate? I think it's a get crazy cute in the flex slate. You've got 3 potential running backs that we know Bill Belichick is impossible to trust.
Man, it's so gross.
They're gross. But like, what are the odds that, one of those guys scores a touchdown versus falls in the end zone versus like a Hunter Henry being the MVP? I mean,
yeah, it's really tough. It's going to be tough to profitably mass multi-enter on FanDuel on a contest like this. So there are 2 options. One is you hope one of these low upside, highly unlikely to actually work out plays does work out. And I mean, when we talk about highly, you got Mac Jones. Hell no. Devin Singletary against the number 1 rush defense in the league. Hell to the fuck no. Right? Diggs, maybe. Gabriel Davis, maybe. But Jones and Singletary, I don't even see it. I can't. I need to get a lot higher than I am right now to have any ability to envision that happening. Like those guys. Like what I just said.
Yes.
Higher.
I wanted to ask.
I kept it present tense. No, I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
Okay.
I could never do these videos in that state of mind. I have to be clear-headed. Afterwards, we take it easy, but not before. It's like you don't go to work. You don't go to work that way, Bobbywow.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think so.
You're not going to be successful at the office.
Yeah, Geek, we're talking about a takedown here, okay, on FanDuel. Yeah. You can't. The lesson is don't end up in the middle somewhere. If you want to take down a tournament, don't be like, oh yeah, I'm all in Josh Allen. That's not enough. That's not enough. You have to get cute. If you're going to be all in on a player that's going to be 40% owned, you got to get cute and go nuts. You got to have one of these backup running backs in. You got to have Khalil Shakir in your lineups. Jonnu Smith. Don't end up in the middle.
Yeah, that's how you find it on FanDuel. You need, if you're going to play Josh Allen as your captain, you either need to like leave 2K plus on the table for uniqueness, or
which will happen anyway when you play these guys.
Well, if you try, especially try to force a turd or 2 in the lineup. So let's take a look at the overall salary levels on FanDuel to kind of see where we're going to wind up here. So I think you can effectively ignore Devin Singletary on this slate. This might come back to burn me, Bobbywow. Even in the flex, I'm probably going to ignore him. I think I'll have him full faded.
It's the right fade, especially on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'm just going to fade him. Mac Jones, effectively going to fade him as well at this price, just because I can already tell that if you play Allen and Ramondre, you simply cannot play any of these guys. I'll just show you. Every time I clear cache, I gotta get a tutorial. Thank you, FanDuel. Ramondre, you're at 9,500, Bobbywow.
Look, I'm not saying it should have scared you. Does the Mac Jones performance from last week make you pause at all?
No, because this is the Bills.
Okay. They just haven't been that great. They haven't been as the defense that we were accustomed to when it comes to QBs, wide receivers.
And you're correct there, but the other thing is, if you play Mac Jones, you cannot play Ramondre. Like the math just doesn't work.
I'm purely playing devil's advocate. I hate Jones on this slate.
So there you go. That's right. So you just can't. You can't do it all. So obviously we got our kicker zone here. Let me go back to the cheat sheet. I just wanted to point out that happens right there. But let's continue on. So in the flex. Yeah, Mac Jones. If you're playing Mac Jones, he must be stacked with at least one of his pass catchers. If you're so bold as to play Mac Jones as a captain, I am not that bold, or an MVP. I am not that bold, but okay. I never said I was that bold. But if you're so bold, you need to play him with 2 pass catchers.
You need 2 of them. Yes.
Not 1. So you're talking like Hunter Henry has to probably score 2 touchdowns, or somebody's having big scores like Nelson Aguilar's catching a deep one, Taekwondo. you'd have to stack him with 2. If he's in my flex, I'm stacking him with 1. Caveat, do you know that the very rare tournament last week, the one with Kenny Pickett was in there without any pass catcher. Steelers QB made it without carrying a pass catcher at all. The rare pocket QB in the flex that didn't need to be stacked with anybody. Rare.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It happened again the week before with Hurts. It's running quarterbacks.
Hurts, so we accept it with Hurts being what he is, but a running quarterback, but unusual with a pocket guy. Like, it's really hard to envision how Mac Jones gets there without dragging somebody along with. Like, how does he get there? He's not running for.
Well, yeah, because Kenny Pickles he has some rushing upside. I think he ran the ball a little bit.
Yeah, he did a little bit. He didn't run for a touchdown though.
No, he didn't. No.
Yeah, he spread it around. I don't really know how he got there, to be honest. But it happened. All right, so Davis 11K, Myers 11.5, meh. Isaiah McKenzie overpriced now at 9,500, but you have to consider him because he fucking burned me last week, and now I'll never forget it. That one burning of me that he did last week is going to force me to play him at a bad price. I feel like for years, like the reverberations are going to go on for more than the rest of this. It's going to carry into next year. Like, oh yeah, I remember that time, and it's going to make me have to play this guy who rarely gets more than 2 or 3 touches in a game.
You have to sit down and have a heart to heart with yourself and say, am I going to be more upset if I don't play him and he scores well again, or if I do play him and he sucks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I think if I do play him, I'm more upset because I was a donkey and he failed me.
Yeah, and now you're going to be a donkey and he's going to fail you. That's what's going to happen this week. We're going to donkey chase last week's game, and then he's going to fail. I had, you know how much of that, by the way, on my weekly cheat sheet, the one for the main slate, there's a lot of that. Like as I'm writing Josh Jacobs in, I'm like, man, there's nothing that feels worse than playing a guy after a 58 pointer where you barely had exposure to him the week before. Like, nothing feels worse than that. But yet here I am. Devontae Parker's 8K, all right.
Yeah, these guys are cheap. The Patriots wide receivers are really cheap for a good reason, but like on FanDuel, they're especially cheap. Devontae Parker has decent touchdown odds. Like him at 8K, that's some value, I think.
I mean, Aguilar at 6,500 too. Open some stuff with Hunter Henry at tight end. I'm down with Hunter Henry.
These pass catchers for New England are very cheap on FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, I could pull up. By the way, if you guys ever want the perfect place to get all of the player props for around one game in one beautiful setup, make sure you download the Sharp app. It's totally free. And in the Game Center on Sharp app, you can go right in the Game Center for this game, and every single prop is right there under player props. So I can see the to score a touchdown odds, right? I can just see every player. Boom. I'll tell you what, Dawson Knox to score a touchdown. You know what? It's a not bad plus 290. Okay. Devontae Parker right there, plus 275. So Parker plus 275. Hunter Henry plus 350. I bet that shocks you, Bobbywow. Hunter Henry, lower odds of a touchdown than Devontae Parker. J.J. Taylor is the only other running back. Oh, wait, here. Kevin Harris is in there, plus 550. Oh, no, they got them all there. Man, they have a freaking prop for everybody. Pierre Strong. Wait a minute. Hold up. Kevin Harris, plus 550. Pierre Strong, plus 1,100.
Oh, man. So you're fading him and you're putting a couple bucks on him scoring a touchdown at the
I'm going to wait till tomorrow to make that call. I want to see if these numbers change, like as soon as they announce who might actually be playing. But following the money is usually the right way to go. Let's see. Aguilar plus 225. The other thing here is, man, if you bet props, let me show you something nuts. You want to make money on a prop? If you go to FanDuel, you're only getting plus 220 for an Aguilar touchdown. But BetMGM is giving you plus 450. Do you understand the discrepancy between those two lines?
Insanity.
Like if you just didn't check and you were right and you miraculously hit that, but you went to the wrong book on your $100 bet. On one book, you get 220. On the other one, you get 450 for the same exact risk. Shop your lines.
That's huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Shop your lines. I love the kickers. I think we go right back to the kickers in this one. And yeah, I mean, the sub 6K range is pretty gross. I mean, the sub 8K range is pretty bad. Who's your favorite under 8K guy, Bobbywow?
I think there's a couple guys I'm interested in. I think both tight ends I'm intrigued by. I think Aguilar 6,500. I mean, all three of those guys.
Aguilar, Joe New, Hunter
Yep.
Henry.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so trying to slap a lineup together here. 9,500 left. I think that the most basic lineup that most people will do will kind of look like this, and you just kind of plug in some kickers and call it a day. Pretty much the same lineup we made on FanDuel, on DraftKings. This builds itself. It's almost too easy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's almost too easy, Bobbywow. Probably is too easy. It means it's not going to win.
Cashy.
Yeah, I think this is your cash line. Would I prefer? Let's see. Davis isn't really a cashy kind of guy, but there's no other way to go. I mean, Isaiah McKenzie, you can't really. If you're going to do, the only other way to go here would be to forego, let's say, a T-Bass. I would rather forego the Bills kicker because I think they have the harder time. They have the easier time punching footballs into the end zone. And then you'd have to go down to like, this is your tournament version, right? Something like this, Aguilar, Mac Jones. Okay.
Yeah, Geek, the one thing we haven't talked about is the defense. Both defenses.
Yeah, that's a good question. So are you interested in either one of these defenses for either site, FanDuel or DraftKings?
I don't like playing defense, but the Bills defense it's a little bit juicy. It feels hard not to at least get some exposure here to the Bills.
Okay. I think that's fair. And I'm down with it. I even Patriots, you know what? Josh Allen's been throwing a lot of interceptions lately. So he hasn't been as sharp. I think that changes this week, but yeah, I think you play a little bit of those defenses, but yeah, Bills defense being the slightly better one.
We talked about FanDuel takedowns with high-owned MVPs, Geek. That Jalen Hurts takedown, he was the MVP naked on FanDuel, and it had the defense in the flex, the opposing defense.
Yeah, that is one way where you can get unique and different. You do have to do something like that on FanDuel, though. You have to do something. If you're going to try to actually win a tournament on FanDuel, you will need to do something unexpected, assuming that Allen is the captain, or even Ramondre, but more so right. Josh Allen being the potential captain. I think, though, the unexpected could just be, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to play some Davis, I can easily see Stephon Diggs in a game randomly just, put up more points than Josh Allen did because he went nuts.
It's happened twice.
Yeah. So I think your Diggs lineups, if you're trying to take a big tournament down, Diggs, Davis, getting off beat with your MVP, even though it's super likely to be Josh Allen.
Super likely.
Yeah. So you're saying Diggs outscored him on FanDuel twice?
For sure, DraftKings twice.
Yeah, I don't know if it's happened on FanDuel. So
it definitely happened.
All right, week 2, 38.8. And KC, 25.8. So we got a 38.8 week 2, 25.8 against KC. Week 2, 29. There we go.
There you go.
And then KC, nope. KC outscores him. So as far as I can tell, it has happened this one game, week 2. Allen only got 30 fantasy points, and Stephon Diggs got 38. Happened once.
Man, almost twice, but yeah, just one time.
3 touchdowns took
10%
to get there.
of the time. Yeah, it's an outlier, big time.
Look at how good Diggs has been. So good this year. He's been spectacular. So anyway, that'll do it for this one. You know what? If I was getting a little crazy, I think the way to get a little crazy is actually to go Diggs above Ramondre, or try to get Diggs in there with Ramondre. Can we do a Diggs and Ramondre combo? No, these are 67.50.
I don't even think that's getting crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of okay. So in this version,
go what, Aguilar?
Yeah, it's pretty much Aguilar and
Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
I mean,
something like that. It could work. It could work.
Woof.
I don't love it. But
I think I'm going to make a rule: no more than 2 Patriots wide receivers.
Yeah, I like that rule. Luke is saying the Cleveland game. Wait, did I miss that? Hold on. Cleveland 12.8. Oh, well, yeah. All right. I wasn't thinking of when he does. Wait, no. Wait, Cleveland. Stephon Diggs did shit against Cleveland. Oh, and Rondalyn. Yeah. And Tupac Shakir is the other one. So anyway, that's going to do it, guys. This is a pretty straightforward one. Neither one of these teams is getting crazy in the turd zone. You're not seeing a lot of, backup tight ends scoring for the Bills. And you're not seeing a lot of that going on for you got a lot of weird wide receivers on the Patriots. So there's that. But on the Bills side, they're not really turds. There's just a bunch of them that they use. And on the Bills side, there's very few turds. So you kind of got to treat it straight up. I think the way to get crazy or unique is just play more Gabriel Davis because he failed last week and everybody assumes that what happened last week is going to happen again this week. So usually when you do that, it is a positive thing. Any final thoughts, Bobbywow?
Yeah, don't sleep on Jonnu Smith and make sure you're in the Discord to keep up to date with this Patriots running back situation. I think whoever ends up suiting up as the RB2 ends up in the nuts on DraftKings. So make sure you're following along in the DFS Army Discord.
There we go. And if you're not signed up for DFS Army, get there now. Promo code Geek, 10% off. Get VIP. That's the best plan that we have. It covers everything. We got sports going nonstop. League of Legends. Like, I love saying League of Legends because it seems like the most obscure of all the sports. We got the best League of Legends guy in the industry in DFS Army. Do you know this?
Yes, I know this because I'm playing LOL DFS because of him.
He just won the League of Legends championship on DraftKings.
He's unreal.
Advantage. What's up, bro? Anyway, that'll do it for this one. Showdown Breakdown. Like the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do it now. Hit the bell. Let us know who your favorite captain is. You like how that comes out smooth?
I got the gigs because I'm just thinking about like how I'm rooting for League of Legends. I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to watch on Twitch and I'm like, what the hell? What the heck am I cheering for? What's happening?
Why are you watching? Just watch your money. It wins, it loses.
Right.
Watch the games.
I was trying to root. I was trying to cheer.
I did. Well, I got into it and then I learned and I started playing the game and then I started playing the game a little too much and then I had to delete the game from the computer. Too much.
It's good.
I was like the boomer just hitting buttons like this. Kids can pick, like young people, like if you're 14, you can have like 17 buttons and you know where they are with your fingers and you're like clicking it. You're like, oh, hit the Q. This age, hell no.
My brother's got buttons all over his PlayStation 5 controller. He's got the mapping on. Oh my gosh.
We stick to Mario Kart. There's a thing, there's 2 buttons and that's it.
That's it.
Left, right, forward, back. Nothing else you need to know. All right. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Good luck on this slate. Helmets up. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.